So I think focusing on hybridization shifts our gaze away from outcomes towards processes and towards the political and power dynamics, and kind of allows us to disaggregate what the local actually means, and I think that's a really important part. I think it highlights two things in particular. First, it highlights that both peace building and conflict itself are deeply political processes of constant bargaining, of negotiation and renegotiation. So to understand the outcomes, we need to understand these processes, and ultimately this is what hybridization is all about. And if we shift our gaze towards actors, but also the institutions and how they shape bargaining processes, then we really start to understand how they affect the outcomes and the nature that hybrid political orders will take. So I think, to be clear, I don't think we can program for hybridity or program for hybridization, but recognizing the hybrid nature of political orders and the dynamics that underpin them is really important for the analysis that informs programming. And I think at three different levels. At the kind of macro strategic level, there has to be a recognition that these processes of negotiation and renegotiation shape the outcomes and institutional choices. So there is not a direct translation from an institutional blueprint in a policy document towards reality on the ground. But there's a messy reality that happens in between those that we just have to recognize right from the start when we embark upon these processes, not least to shape expectations with regard to the ambition of the outcomes. I think, secondly, we can look at this at the operational level. So programs need to take this messy reality into account and understand the political and power dynamics to engage with them. Yeah? So we can't just program as if these things don't exist, but need to take this into account when developing our programs. And I think the third is we need to just accept and recognize that hybridization is not surprising. Yeah, it happens all the time, and it's not a problem in itself. Yeah, so all orders are in some form hybrid. Whether the form they take is detrimental and has come at significant political, economic and social cost to certain groups, for example, because it continues or even enhances the marginalization of certain groups. You know, that is not a consequence of hybridization as such, but of the nature of the underlying political dynamics. And it is those that we then need to engage with and try to address, rather than bemoan or celebrate hybridization itself.